And we're back on WhatCulture.com. It's Kenny McIntosh here, and I'm stoked to be joined today by not only the star of 12 Rounds 3 Lockdown, but also the WWE Intercontinental Champion. It's Dean Ambrose. Dean, how are you doing?
I feel like crap, but it's always a good day when you wake up and hey, Dean Ambrose here, Intercontinental Champion, and you're doing your thing. So,
It's not a bad way to wake up, yeah. And you were wrestling Sheamus, and it was a pretty physical match, so I can understand that you must be a little bit worse for wear this morning.
I pretty much live my life, worse for wear. It's a good, I just have a T-shirt that just says "worse for wear," you know what I mean? But like, worse for wear for somebody is, the norm for me. So, you know what I mean? I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
So, this is just, the sun is shining. I'm in beautiful Lafayette, Louisiana, and we're ready to get another one in the bag and move on.
Yeah,
and it's always a good day when you got a movie out on DVD and it's a star action movie that's badass, and
Yeah, it's got to be pretty cool to have done this movie. And I was kind of listening to some of the other interviews you'd done talking about the film, and you talked about how weird it was for you to sort of be playing somebody else and kind of, not being Dean Ambrose on Raw, but being John Shaw. So I just wondered, how did the film come about for you? Like, did WWE approach you and say, hey, we've got this movie, do you want to do it? And how did you feel about it when it first came up?
I was actually approached as a blue. Which is like hey, we got this thing that this is kind of, not that the part was necessarily written for me, but it was just a thing that was, that they just thought that the studio or whatever just thought that was the thing that I could pull off pretty well. And it was just like essentially it was like hey, I made a movie, and I was like, hell yeah, are you kidding me? Of course. Like, who wouldn't take that opportunity? Like, are you kidding me? Hell yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and I had no experience or had never even really had any inkling to, like, or desire to go pursue anything like that. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like an opportunity that comes out of blue. When stuff comes in your path like that, you know what I mean? You gotta take every opportunity in life that you can. You know what I mean? It's not every day somebody's gonna walk up to you and be like, "Hey, do you want to start an action movie?" So it ended up just kind of coming out of nowhere. But when I committed to it though, like I went full in. Like, all right, if I'm gonna do this, I'm not coming here to waste anybody's time. You know what I mean? I'm coming in I'm gonna learn everything I can about this process and do everything I can possibly do to prepare and to come in and be the most viable action star in a decent little franchise that I possibly can. So I put in the work and really committed myself to it, and was pretty proud of the results of everybody's hard work. Such a good little crew, and we did so much, I think, with the resources that we had, as far as like from the technical side, and like the lighting and the scenery, to like the action scenes and so forth, and the fights. And I think it's a really easy 90 minutes to watch. The movie starts, it takes a couple steps, and before you know it, it's in a full sprint. You know what I mean? There's no like waiting around for anything to happen. That movie just goes. And, that's the thing that I think best about it. It's a little bit grittier and simpler than a lot of, big budget, huge action movies as far as like the action and so forth goes. And, a little more down to earth. And, the fact that the fast pace of it, I think, is what I like best about it. You know what I mean? It's not, the thing just flies right by.
I kind of wondered, with 12 rounds, with John Cena having done one, Randy Orton having done one, did that play any part in your mind? Like, those guys have done the same franchise. Like, did that play on your mind about how you were going to approach it? Or were you just kind of like, I'm going to go in and I'm going to put my own spin on it?
Nah, yeah, I didn't. That had no bearing or the fact that, because I didn't really think about it till, being asked that question later. I'm like, not really. It never really occurred to me at the time. But I don't do anything like that. I don't I don't compare what I'm doing to anybody else or worry about what anybody else is doing or try to, measure anything I'm doing up to anybody else. Because, one, I just don't care. And two, you're never going to get anything really good or really authentic or really the best it could be if you think like that. And plus, and that it's just no way to live. So, like, you know, I mean, that's a general, but
Yeah.
You know, that's a general statement. But no, I never really compared to their moves. You know what I mean? There's
and obviously, like you say,
I mean, on the one hand, like Cena would look more like you and think like a superhero cop would be like. But in this scenario, I think I'm more of like the regular guy cop character. I think it's a character that kind of was more suited for somebody like myself. Kind of a. The movie didn't explore too deep into it, and in this one, they kind of is more of a. A cop who's got kind of a troubling past and so forth, and he's dealing with some stuff, and he's just a more of a more regular, relatable, flawed guy.
Yeah,
just using his just trying to get out of a situation. You know what I mean? Not going out and trying to save the world, just trying to stop shooting at me, kind of thing, or I'll just kill all of them, kind of thing.
It's a good way to approach it. And obviously, we want to kind of ask you about things are going really well for you in the wrestling side of things too. We talked about it, you're the Intercontinental Champion. There's a lot of people. I spoke to Ryback last week, and we were talking about how he had done a table for three in the WWE Network, and Daniel Bryan had talked about how he would really like to make the Intercontinental Championship exclusive to SmackDown, and Ryback was kind of getting behind that as well, saying he thinks that'd be quite cool. You're the champ. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, would you prefer to have SmackDown be part of one show and just be on that, or do you prefer it being sort of across everything?
I mean, that wouldn't be a question about the Intercontinental Championship. That would be more of a question about like whether you wanted to have two separate rosters again. And I don't know if that'd be a good thing or a bad thing. On the one hand, it would. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a million questions you could ask about, whether that would be a good thing or a bad thing. Would it create new, fresh matchups, or would it make things more original, or would it just split everybody up and create less matchups? I don't know. But I mean, as far as my job is concerned, I making the Intercontinental Championship as prestigious as possible is just having the best possible matches on every show that you can possibly have, and busting your ass every single night. I think that's kind of how the guys who built that championship into the thing that made it cool, thing that made it fun to watch when we were kids. You know what I mean? The Bret Harts and the Shawn Michaels and Mr. Perfects, the Macho Mans, and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think just having as many good matches as you possibly can, and just treating it like giving it the stage that it deserves. You know what I mean? It's
yeah, and people are already kind of talking about the stuff you're doing with Kevin Owens right now. People are really into it and really looking forward to the matches that you guys are going to have. But I wanted to ask you quickly about WWE.com talked about the potential of AJ Styles and Nakamura and the Bullet Club coming into WWE. When you look at potential guys like that coming in, does that sort of like excite you to get to work with guys who people are talking about a lot that haven't come to the company yet?
Yeah, I don't really know anything about that, but yeah, I mean, it's cool that WWE is like such a melting pot of all the talent from all over the world now. You know what I mean? Like, eventually everybody's gonna filter through here. You know what I mean? Like whether it's like even Sting eventually filters into WWE. You know what I mean? Like a guy like Samoa Joe shows up in WWE. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty much at some point. You know what I mean? Anybody worth anything is gonna like filter through here, and I think that's pretty cool. So like to be in a time and age where you can literally see like all kinds of crazy dream matchups. You know what I mean? a very cool thing. So, you know, makes me happy to be having, you know, to have something, to be in a position where people are going to want to come after me and, like, you know what I mean, to have, like, all these potential cool mashups, like, throughout the entire roster, you know what I mean? I mean, I pretty much wrestled everybody in the roster, but, you know what I mean, like, you know, I completely lost my train of thought. It's early, but, like, you know, I'm as the Intercontinental Champion, you know what I mean? You want to get excited about it. You want to turn every match into a potential classic, you know what I mean? Whether you're wrestling, you know, Kalisto, or you're wrestling Ryback, or you're wrestling Big Show, whatever it is, you know what I mean? So I always get excited about, you know, new opportunities.
And just as we sort of finish up here, WrestleMania's around the corner. Everybody wants me to ask you about it. Have you got anything kind of in mind that you're like, I'd kind of like to do that for WrestleMania, or do you just kind of see what's thrown at you and try to make the best of whatever it is?
Yeah, I mean, like, WrestleMania is right around the corner, but, like, do you have any idea how much time, how many shows, or how many miles are going to be traveled between now and WrestleMania? Like, to me, it's like, it's a lifetime away. And I got a million things I got to deal with before then. I just take it day by day, you know?
Yeah. And obviously...
I'll worry about WrestleMania in, like, April. When is it, April 1st or 2nd?
April 3rd.
Okay. I'll worry about it April 2nd.
And just as we finish, one other thing I wanted to ask you, when you are getting ready to sort of get in the ring or get on the movie set, what kind of music do you listen to kind of get yourself pumped up for what it is that you're doing?
I listen to all kinds of music. It depends on it depends on the movie, it depends on the activity. You know, like, I'm a big fan of, you know, classic country music, you know, when I'm driving from town to town, you know, I like some Waylon Jennings, I like some Willie Nelson, but, like, you know, to get, like, pumped up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, like everything from, like, you know, rock and hard rock to hip hop to, I mean, man, it's like a cop out to say listen to everything, but, like, I listen to everything.
Yeah, I get it. Like, there could be different
like,
moods.
I mean, it could be anything that will, like, make me everything that's good music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I know you've got to go to take care of SmackDown today, but just the kind of last question I wanted to ask you was, having done 12 rounds 3 now, would you like to do more of the kind of WWE Studios films, or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think having that experience under my belt, you know what I mean? It was so much fun. Like, I would jump on the opportunity to do another action movie in 2 seconds, probably, you know, and if the situation is always right, you know what I mean? I'm open to, I always jump on, you know, any kind of stuff they throw at me like that, because it's, whether it be commercials or any stuff like that, because, you know, you only live once, you only get to, you know, have these experiences, you know, well, you got them, you know what I mean? So you gotta take all these things before the sun goes down, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And just last thing to ask you, you did say earlier on that you had pretty much wrestled everybody in the roster. Is there anybody left that you've not wrestled yet in the roster that you're kind of like, I want to get in the ring with them? Even looking at NXT or something, maybe somebody that's not come up yet?
I mean, seeing, what's this, you know, like last night, you know, Kalisto won the United States Championship, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be a completely different kind of opponent for me, you know? Like, I don't think I've ever been in the ring with Kalisto, to my recollection, which is often shoddy. But, you know, like, you know, like Samoa Joe's a guy I don't think I've ever wrestled. I don't think I've ever really crossed paths with him. That's a guy I think, you know, that's a good scenario. We could have a good, you know, fight to the ear test. So, that's a couple. You know, it's cool that, you know, it's like, I think, you know, it's part of being just the kind of guy that I am, and I think that goes along with being an Intercontinental Champion. Is that, you know what I mean? I've just, at this point, I've just like I've just had the opportunity to wrestle just about everybody from every size and shape and the entire giant litany of the entire roster, you know what I mean? Because I can pretty much get in there and do anything with anybody. So, like, you know, that creates a good, created a lot of good opportunities for me, you know, and you gain a lot of, you know, have a lot of great matches and fun experiences and so forth. That's why I'm
for sure.
Kind of freaking champion. You know
Exactly. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me today, and good luck with 12 Rounds 3. People can get it from wherever DVDs are sold, and obviously you're doing stuff with Kevin Owens right now. You're the Intercontinental Champion. Life is good. So we wish you the best in the rest of the year.
Yeah, thank you, man.
All right, have a good one.
And hey, while we have you, why not celebrate the relentless passage of time by buying WhatCulture's first ebook, The 100 Worst Wrestling Moments of 2015, written by Andrew Sosick with a foreword from me. Only £3, it's currently the ranked #1 selling wrestling book on Amazon. Check the description for a link.